Lead the rest of you to my door, so all of you can fall in love with all of me. If your heart ain't busy tonight, well, maybe it would like to get with mine. And if your heart ain't busy tonight, well, I could keep it occupied for a long, long time. If your lips ain't got something pressing to do, if your arms aren't held up, well, they're invited to. If your heart ain't busy tonight, well, maybe it would like to get with mine anytime. Yeah, maybe it would like to get with mine anytime. All right. Oh, yes, I forgot to mention Happy Father's Day to any and all fathers out there listening, either tonight or later in the week. And thank you, Julie and Mary Pat, for the Happy Father's Day. So next up is a song that was a number 2 hit for Tanya in 1992. This is a story song. It's somewhat unique in that the first and last verses only differ in the first 2 words of the verse. Otherwise, they're identical, and yet they represent completely different messages with the same set of words, other than 2. Anyway, this is called Two Sparrows in a Hurricane. She's 15 and he's barely driving a car. She's got his ring and he's got the key to her heart. It's just a matter of time. They'll spread their wings and fly like two sparrows in a hurricane, trying to find their way with a head full of dreams and faith that could move anything. They've heard it's all uphill, but all they know is how they feel. The world says they'll never make it, but love says they will. There's a baby crying and one more on the way. There's a wolf at the door and a big stack of bills they can't pay. The clouds are dark and the wind is high, but they can see the other side. Like two sparrows in a hurricane, trying to find their way with a head full of dreams and faith that could move anything. Well, they've heard it's all uphill, but all they know is how they feel. The world says they'll never make it, but love says they will. She's 83 and he's barely driving a car. She's got his ring and he's got the key to her heart. It's just a matter of time. Oh, they'll spread their wings and fly like two sparrows in a hurricane, trying to find their way, with a head full of dreams and faith that could move anything. Well, they've heard it's all uphill, but all they know is how they feel. The world says they'll never make it, but love says they will. Oh, the world says they'll never make it, but love says they will. All right. Jennifer, thank you for the Father's Day wishes. All right. Next up, another number 2 hit for Tanya. This one from the next year, 1993. A music critic from the Miami Herald at the time said this song was all attitude. And this song is called, Well, It's a Little Too Late to Do the Right Thing Now. Well, I was up all night wondering what to do, thinking that I ought to just forget about you, but it's a little too late. Well, it's a little too late. When you walked in, I should have walked out, but it's a little too late to do the right thing now. Well, the whole town told me you're a heartbreak queen. Guess I ought to pay attention when they say those things, but it's a little too late. Well, it's a little too late. I know all my old buddies want to help me out, but it's a little too late to do the right thing now. Turn the jukebox up and throw some sawdust down. I'm too far gone to turn this heart around. I may be wrong, but I don't want out. Well, it's a little too late to do the right thing now. Yeah, I was up all night wondering what to do, thinking that I ought to just forget about you, but it's a little too late. Well, it's a little too late. When you walked in, I should have walked out, but it's a little too late to do the right thing now. Well, I may be wrong, but I don't want out. Well, it's a little too late to do the right thing now. Yeah, it's a little too late to do the right thing now. All right. Next, this is the only duet that of Tanya's that I'm covering, although I don't know that she really had many duets. This one she recorded with Delbert McClinton, and it went to number 4 in the charts for them in 1994. This song is called Tell Me About It. They say there's a hole in the atmosphere. The things you think will last but disappear. When you're ready to say I do, somebody lowered the boom on you, and now you need a sympathetic ear. Well, honey, tell me about it. Tell me about teardrops in the dark. Well, tell me about it. Tell me all about your broken heart. You say you need someone to hold you tight. You can't stand another lonely night. Well, come closer and tell me about it. Love isn't always true, it hurts sometimes. Your tears will tell on you, girl, I'm not blind. I know what you're going through. I graduated from that school too. But if you need a shoulder, cry on mine. And honey, tell me about it. Tell me about teardrops in the dark. Well, tell me about it. Tell me all about your broken heart. You say you need someone to hold you tight. You can't stand another lonely night. Well, come closer and tell me about it. You took a lesson in playing the fool. I graduated from that school too. And if you need a shoulder, cry on mine. And honey, tell me about it. Tell me about teardrops in the dark. Well, tell me about it. Tell me all about your broken heart. You say you need someone to hold you tight. You can't stand another lonely night. Well, come closer and tell me about it. Won't you come closer and tell me about it? Okay, next. Now we move on to Tennessee Ernie Ford's, a few of his hits. This first song was introduced in the premiere episode of ABC Television's series Disneyland in October of 1954. Fess Parker was shown performing the song on a log cabin set in frontiersman clothes, accompanied by similarly attired musicians. The song would later be heard throughout the Disneyland television miniseries called Davy Crockett, which was first broadcast in December of 1954. Fess Parker went on to play the role of Davy Crockett in the miniseries and continued in 4 other episodes made by Walt Disney Studios. Tennessee Ernie Ford recorded and released the song the very next year, 1955, and had a number 4 hit with it on the country charts, as well as a number 5 hit on the pop charts. So this song is called The Ballad of Davy Crockett. Born on a mountaintop in Tennessee, greenest state in the land of the free. Raised in the woods so we knew every tree. Killed him a bear when he was only 3. Davy, Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. Fought single-handed through the Indian War, till the fighters were whipped and peace was in store. While he was handling this risky chore, made himself a legend forevermore. Davy, Davy Crockett, the man who don't know fear. He went off to Congress and served a spell, fixing up the government laws as well. He took over Washington, so I hear tell, and patched up the crack in the Liberty Bell. Davy, Davy Crockett, seeing his duty clear. When he come home, his politicking done. Why, the westward march had just begun. So he packed his gear and his trusty gun and lit out a grinnin' to follow the sun. Davy Crockett, a leading pioneer. Well, he heard of Houston and Austin, and so to the Texas plains he just had to go. Their freedom was fighting another foe, and they needed him at the Alamo. Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. So that may bring back some memories for some. Okay. Let's see. Right, Pat? Glad that one registered for you. Lori, thanks for tuning in, and thank you. Okay. Next up, this is Tennessee Ernie Ford's biggest hit and arguably his signature song. The song was actually released in 1955 as a B-side. But it quickly shot to number 1 on the country charts, where it stayed for 10 weeks, as well as number 1 on the pop charts, where it stayed for 8 weeks. Needless to say, this song was pretty much everywhere in 1955. The song was written by Merle Travis, and a couple of the lines were actually provided by Merle's family members. When Merle's brother wrote the line, "Another day older and deeper in debt," and then their father, who actually was a coal miner, used to say, I can't afford to die because I owe my soul to the company store. So this mega hit is called 16 Tons. Some people say a man is made out of mud. A poor man's made out of muscle and blood. Muscle and blood and skin and bone. A mind that's weak and a back that's strong. You load 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I was born one morning when the sun didn't shine. I picked up my shovel and I walked to the mine. I loaded 16 tons of number nine coal, and the straw boss said, well, bless my soul, you load 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I was born one morning, it was drizzling rain. Fighting and trouble are my middle name. I was raised in the cane, break by an old mama line. Can't no high-tall woman make me walk the line. You know, 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. If you see me coming, better step aside. A lot of men didn't, a lot of men died. One fist of iron and the other of steel. If the right one don't get you, then the left one will. You load 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. All right. This next Tennessee Ernie Ford song is actually a traditional folk song that a lot of people have sung, but Tennessee Ernie Ford kind of probably had the biggest commercial success with it. It's a traditional folk song of sort of uncertain origin, dating back to the early 1800s. The song appears to have originated with American and Canadian fur traders traveling down the Missouri River in canoes, and has developed several different sets of lyrics over the years. Some lyrics refer to the Oneida chief Shenandoah and a canoe-going trader who wants to marry his daughter. That's probably the more popular ones. Anyway, by the mid-1800s, versions of the song had migrated down the Missouri into the Mississippi and down into the Gulf of Mexico. The song just kind of floated with the river, with the people working on the river. And in the Gulf of Mexico, it ultimately became a sea shanty that was heard and sung by sailors all around the world. So, but the most popular recorded version of the song was Tennessee Ernie Ford's 1959 version. And this classic folk song is called Shenandoah. We'll start with the right note. How about? Oh, Shenandoah, I long to hear you away, you rolling river. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to hear you away. I'm bound away across the wide Missouri. Oh, Shenandoah, I love your daughter away, you rolling river. Oh, Shenandoah, I love your daughter away. I'm bound away across the wide Missouri. Oh, Shenandoah, I'm bound to leave you away, you rolling river. Oh, Shenandoah, I'm bound to leave you away. I'm bound away across the wide Missouri. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to see you away, you rolling river. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to see you away. I'm bound away across the wide Missouri. Good campfire song, probably. Okay. Now we move on to a couple of Tex Ritter's big hits. Tex Ritter was a pioneer of American country music and both a popular singer and an actor from the mid-1930s into the 1960s. He was also father to his son, John Ritter, who was a popular actor in the 70s and early 80s on a sitcom. But many of Tex Ritter's hits were covered by a lot of other artists over the years, including Jim Reeves, and I mistakenly covered a bunch of those songs when I did my massive Jim Reeves collection. So there won't be as many Tex Ritter songs covered here. Our first Tex Ritter song was his third big hit when this song reached number 2 on the charts in 1945. I learned this song from a Hank Snow cover of it, but again, many artists have covered this song over the years, and this one is called Jealous Heart. Jealous heart, oh jealous heart, stop beating. Can't you see the damage you have done? You have driven her away forever. Jealous heart, now I'm the lonely one. I was part of everything she planned for, and I know she loved me from the start. Now she hates the sight of all I stand for, all because of you, oh jealous heart. Jealous heart, why did I let you rule me when I knew the end would bring me pain? Now she's gone and found another. Oh, I'll never see my love again. Through the years, her memory will haunt me, even though we're many miles apart. Well, it's so hard to know she'll never want me, 'cause she heard you beating, jealous heart. Many times I trusted you to guide me, but your guiding only brought me tears. Why, oh why must I have you inside me? Jealous heart, for all my lonely years. Jealous heart, for all my lonely years. That is just like traditional country slapped all over that. So now we get to kind of a strange song. Well, no. No, I shouldn't say that. This is going to be our original song. Not so strange. This is the portion of the show when I do one of our original songs that my friend Charlie and I wrote. This song is sort of all about how at the end of some relationships, it can feel like time has stopped. And this is called Feels Like Yesterday. Feels like yesterday when our eyes first met. Feels like yesterday, a day I'll never forget. Feels like yesterday when your lips touched mine. Feels like yesterday when everything was fine. But yesterday's gone, Today's just another day. Yesterday is gone, tomorrow has slipped away. You left me all alone, crying each and every day. 'Cause the day you went away still feels like yesterday. Feels like every day is a day that has no end. Feels like every day my heart will never mend. Feels like every day I miss you more and more. Feels like yesterday is the day I'm living for. But yesterday is gone. Today's just another day. Yesterday is gone, tomorrow has slipped away. You left me all alone, crying each and every day. 'Cause the day you went away still feels like yesterday. Today don't mean nothing when your heart's missing something. And tomorrow goes by fast when you're living in the past. Yeah, it's hard to move on when your love is gone. When each and every day still feels like yesterday. But yesterday is gone. Today's just another day. Yesterday is gone, tomorrow has slipped away. You left me all alone, crying each and every day. 'Cause the day you went away still feels like yesterday. You left me all alone, crying each and every day. 'Cause the day you went away still feels like yesterday. All right, now we get to the strange song. This is our second and last Tex Ritter song. This is a complete diversion from any other song I've done to date or will do before we're finished with this whole series. My parents had this song on a multi-artist album that they bought back in the early 60s, so I learned this song as a kid, even though it was probably somewhat inappropriate for a kid. But anyway, this kind of weird song that actually sort of sounds like could have been a Roger Miller song. This one is called Rye Whiskey. Need some water, not whiskey, just water. Some falsetto parts here. Jack of diamonds, and I know you of old. You robbed my poor pockets of silver and gold. Whiskey, you villain, you've been my downfall. You kicked me, you cuffed me, but I love you for all. It's so whiskey, rye whiskey. Whiskey, I cry. Tree don't fall on me, I live till I die. Well, it's beefsteak when I'm hungry, rye whiskey when I'm dry, a greenback when I'm hard up, it's a heaven when I die. I'll go to yonder holler and I'll build me a still. I'll give you a gallon For a $5 bill, it's whiskey, rye whiskey. Whiskey, I cry. Tree don't fall on me, I live till I die. Wee-haw! Scoop! Scoop! Now if the ocean was whiskey and I was a duck, I'd dive to the bottom and never come up. But the ocean ain't whiskey and I ain't a duck. I'll play Jack of Diamonds, just too much. Oh, 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 whiskey, rye whiskey. Whiskey, I cry. Whiskey don't kill me, I'll live till I die. Scoop, scoop, Yeah, I suspect your computer is acting up right, Pat. Or maybe it really is, but I was just assuming you were referencing that song. Maybe it wasn't, things were not sounding right. Okay, now we move on to cover Tommy Cash's only hit song. Tommy Cash is Johnny Cash's younger brother. And Tommy Cash only had 3 songs that broke the top 10 on the charts, and only one song, this one I'm doing next, that broke the top 5, and this one reached number 4 on the charts. On the U.S. country charts, but number 1 on the Canadian country charts. And it actually went to number 79 on the U.S. pop charts in 1970. Tommy Cash is still alive, still performs concerts today, and as a bit of a side fun fact, Tommy Cash is a licensed realtor in Tennessee, and he was the listing agent for the sale of Johnny Cash and June Carter Cash's home in Hendersonville, Tennessee, when after they had both passed in 2003. Anyway, this somewhat sad political story song references the tragic murders of John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, and Bobby Kennedy. And this is called Six White Horses. Some folks drink and some folks smoke. Some folks love and some folks don't. Some folks laugh and some folks frown. Folks hear then they'll gun you down. Goodbye, John. 6 white horses come to take you home. Goodbye, John. They took you away before you sang your song. Some preach wrong and some preach right. Some preach love and some preach fight. Takes every kind to make the world go round. Takes only one to gun you down. Goodbye, Martin. 6 white horses come to take you home. Goodbye, Reverend. They took you away before you sang your song. Some people stick pretty close to home. Others are born with the urge to roam. Welcome, welcome to our town. Hope nobody tries to gun you down. Goodbye, Bobby. 6 white horses come to take you home. Goodbye, Robert. They took you away before you sang your song. Goodbye, John. Goodbye, Martin. Goodbye, Bobby. took you away before you sang your song. Okay, now we begin the large collection of Tom T. Hall hits. Tom's nickname was the Storyteller, as many of his songs are really rhyming stories put to simple music. He wrote songs for a lot of artists, including Johnny Cash, George Jones, Loretta Lynn, Waylon Jennings, Alan Jackson, and Bobby Bare, among others. And in fact, when he started as only a songwriter in Nashville, he was writing like half a dozen songs a day. Needless to say, all of the Tom T. Hall songs I'll be doing are songs that he wrote. So our first Tom T. Hall song was the first song he ever released on the charts, and this song reached number 30 on the charts in 1967. After Tom recorded the song, and over the next 50 years since then, 21 other artists have recorded this song as well. This is called I Washed My Face in the Morning Dew. The first strange town I was ever in, the county was hanging a man. Nobody cared if he lived or died, and I just didn't understand. So I washed my face in the morning dew, bathed my soul in the sun, washed my face in the morning dew, and kept on a-moving along. The second strange town I was in, they were laughing at a poor crippled man, begging for nickels and dimes on the street, and I just didn't understand. So I washed my face in the morning dew, bathed my soul in the sun, washed my face in the morning dew, and kept on a-moving along. Well, the third strange town that I was in was settled, peaceful and nice. The rich got richer and the poor got poorer, and to me it didn't seem right. So I washed my face in the morning dew, bathed my soul in the sun, washed my face in the morning dew, and kept on a-moving along. Someday times are bound to change, it can't be very far, and each injustice I have seen will come before the bar. Then I'll wash my face in the morning dew, bathe my soul in the sun, I'll wash my face in the morning dew, and my journey will be done. So that was Tom's debut song in the charts that went to number 30. After that, he released a couple of other songs that didn't do so well, not very well known. But our next song was the fourth song he ever released, and was his first top 10 hit when this song went all the way to number 4 on the charts in 1968. Just his second year of releasing songs. This is our first example tonight of what would become Tom's sort of signature storytelling song format. based on his personal experiences, his life experiences, and in which the music is really just kind of a simple background to move the story along, which means pay attention to the lyrics and not so much the music. So this next song was also the title track to his debut album. So the song and the album are called Ballad of $40. The man who preached the funeral said it really was a simple way to die. He laid down to rest one afternoon and never opened up his eyes. Well, they hired me and Fred and Joe to dig the grave and carry up some chairs. It took us 7 hours, and I guess we must have drunk a case of beer. I guess I ought to go and watch them put him down, but I don't own a suit. And anyway, when they start talking about the fire and hell, well, I get spooked. So I'll just sit here in my truck and act like I don't know him when they pass. And anyway, when they're all through, I've got to go to work and mow the grass. Well, here they come, and who's that riding in that big old shiny limousine? Look at all that chrome, I do believe that that's the sharpest thing I've seen. Well, that must belong to his great uncle. Someone said he owned a big old farm. When they get parked, I'll mosey down and look it over, that won't do no harm. Well, it must be the widow in the car, and would you take a look at that? Well, that sure is a pretty dress. You know some women do look good in black. Well, he's not even in the ground, and they say that his truck is up for sale. Well, they say she took it pretty hard, but you can't tell too much behind the veil. Well, listen, ain't that pretty when the bugler plays the military taps? I think that when you was in the war, they always have to play a song like that. Well, here I am, and there they go, and I guess you'd just call it my bad luck. Well, I hope he rest in peace. The trouble is, the fellow owes me $40. Yeah, I hope he rest in peace. The trouble is, the fellow owes me $40. Based on a true story, it was a job he had for a while, digging grave sites. Okay, the next two Tom T. Hall personal experience story songs, both from 1969, they have sort of an interesting logical interconnectedness between them. This first song of the two is the next one that he released after that Ballad of $40. But not the next one he wrote. This song reached number 5 on the charts, and from the lyrics of both this song and the song I'll Do After It, you can tell that he had already experienced the circumstances that inspired the second song when he wrote this song. Because in this song he states, quote, I've Got a Hit Recorded, and It'll Be Out on the Market for Too Long, as well as If You Didn't Know Me Better, Dad, You'd Think That I Just Gotten Out of Jail. So it's sort of an interesting strategy of both songwriting and releasing, as he released them kind of in reverse order of when he actually experienced them. So this first of the two interconnected songs was also the title track to his second album. So the song and the album are called Homecoming. Once again, simple melody, story. I guess I should have written, Dad, to let you know that I was coming home. I've been gone so many years, I didn't realize you had a phone. I saw your cattle coming in, boy, they're looking mighty fat and slick. I saw Fred at the service station, told me that his wife was awful sick. Well, you heard my record on the radio, oh well, it's just another song. But I've got a hit recorded, and it'll be out on the market for too long. I got this ring in Mexico, and no, it didn't cost me quite a bunch. When you're in the business that I'm in, people call it putting up a front. Well, I know I've lost a little weight, and I guess I am looking kinda pale. If you didn't know me better, Dad, you'd think that I'd just gotten out of jail. No, we don't ever call them beer joints, nightclubs, other places where I work. You meet a lot of people there, but no, there ain't no chance of getting hurt. I'm sorry that I couldn't be here with you all when Mama passed away. I was on the road, and when they came and told me it was just too late, I drove by the grave to see her. Boy, that really is a pretty stone. I'm glad that Fred and Jan are here. It's better than you being here alone. Well, I knew you was gonna ask me who the lady is that's sleeping in the car. That's just a girl that works for me, and man, she plays a pretty mean guitar. We worked in San Antone last night. She didn't even have the time to dress. She drove me down from Nashville, and to tell the truth, I guess she needs the rest. Well, Dad, I gotta go. We got a dance to work in Cartersville tonight. Let me take your number down, I'll call you, and I promise you I'll write. Now you be good, don't be chasing all those pretty women that you know. And by the way, if you see Barbara Walker, tell her that I said hello. All right, so that was the first one. The line in that last song in which he states, I've got a hit recorded and it'll be out on the market for too long, turned out to be fortuitous, as Tom had the first of his 7 career #1 hits with this next song. This song stayed at #1 for 2 weeks in 1969, and this story song is called A Week in a Country Jail. Do-do-do, 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 do-do-do. One time I spent a week inside a little country jail, and I don't guess I'll ever live it down. I was sitting at a red light when these two men came and got me and said that I was speeding through their town. Well, they said tomorrow morning you can see the judge, then go. And they let me call one person on the phone. I thought I'd be there overnight, so I just called my boss to tell him I'd be off, but not for long. Well, they motioned me inside a cell with 7 other guys, one little barred up window in the rear. My cellmate said if they'd had let me bring some money in, we all could send the jailer for some beer. Well, I had to pay him double 'cause he was the man in charge, and the jailer's job was not the best in town. Later on, his wife brought hot bologna, eggs, and gravy. The first day I was there, I turned it down. Well, next morning they just let us sleep, but I was up real early, wondering when I'd get my release. Later on we got more hot bologna, eggs, and gravy. By now I wasn't quite so hard to please. But 2 days later, when I thought that I had been forgotten, the sheriff came in chewing on a straw. He said, "Where is the guy who thinks that this is Indianapolis? I'd like to talk to him about the law." Well, I told him who I was and told him I was working steady, and I really should be getting on my way. Well, that part about me being who I was did not impress him. He said, "The judge will be here any day." Well, the jailer had a wife, and let me tell you, she was awful, but she brought that hot bologna every day. And after 7 days, she got to looking so much better. I asked her if she'd like to run away. Well, next morning, that old judge took every nickel that I had, and he said, "Son, let this teach you not to race." The jailer's wife was smiling from the window as I left. In 30 minutes, I was out of state. There you go. Week in a country jail. All right, now, next up, this was a number 8 hit for Tom in 1970, another personal experience story song. And this one's called Shoeshine Man. Well, I met the man in Montgomery, Alabama. I was waiting on a bus and he was shining shoes. And I heard him say, "I'm a shoeshine man, number 1 in the land. Shoeshine man, make 'em shine where you stand. Leave me a tip if you can, I'm a shoeshine man." Well, I can sing, I can dance, I can play the harmonica too. I got a brand new thing called the Southside Montgomery Blues. You better stick around and watch me, 'cause I'm an entertaining fool. I'm a shoeshine man, number 1 in the land. Yeah, shoeshine man, make 'em shine where you stand. So leave me a tip if you can, I'm a shoeshine man. Well, I learned my trade from that rag-poppin' daddy of mine. I shined a pair of alligators, made a $100 bill one time. Say when that meat gets scarce, I shine 2-3 pairs for a dime. I'm a shoeshine man, number one in the land. Yeah, shoe shine man, make 'em shine where you stand. So leave me a tip if you can, I'm a shoe shine man. I had a girl that helped me, she had a lot of hooch-coochie ways. She was bumping and grinding, I paid that girl $1 a day. But she was shy on age and the law come and took her away. I'm a shoe shine man, number one in the land. Yeah, shoe shine man, make 'em shine where you stand. So leave me a tip if you can, I'm a shoe shine man. Won't you leave me a tip if you can, I'm a shoe shine man. Okay, we're going to keep moving on. There's 2 songs left. So this next one is another personal experience, a story song from when Tom was younger and in the military. This song has a little humor injected in it, and it all starts when he and his buddy, who's named Yates, meet some German girls in a bar in Germany. This song reached number 8 on the charts for Tom in 1970 and was included on his album Eyewitness Life. The song is called Salute to a Switchblade. And as a P.S., for those of you who speak fluid German, please forgive my butchery of the German language in this song. And this barely fits on the page here. Me and Yates, an army buddy of mine, we're doing 3 years in Germany at the time. We came upon these Fräuleins in a bar. Yates said, "Darf ich she be gliding?" They said, "Ja." And Darby, if she be gliding means, can we sit with you all? Well, we must have drunk 10 quarts of German beer. My conscience and my sinuses were clear. I asked that Fräulein if she was a spy. She said, "Nein, but du bist ein bissel high." A condition not uncommon to the American soldier. Well, later on I went to be excused. When I returned I was a bit confused. Yates and his Fräulein had hit the air, and another guy was sitting in my chair. A young soldier whom we shall get to know better. Well, I said, "Excuse me, mister, that's my seat. And I'd like to have it back, sir, if you please. That gal's a nurse and I've been awful sick." The man looked up at me and said, "Mox nix," which means that he was not overly concerned with my health. Well, next thing I knew, he had a switchblade knife. Lord, I didn't know that Fräulein was his wife. I took off through that guest house like a fool. Behind me I heard the crashing stools. As the police would say, he was in hot pursuit. Well, the waitress yelled, "There's MPs on the way." Well, there's one more reason I didn't want to stay. As I went out the window, something went swish, and I giggled all the way home knowing he'd missed. At the time, it seemed like a laughing matter. But next morning my coat was lying there on the bunk, and when I saw that coat it made me jump. Well, that man had cut my coat right down the back, a little bit more and they'd been playing me taps. and knowing the sad nature of that song, I would decline it. Well, later on I heard that guy got stabbed. They sent him home, and didn't that make me glad? On love and marriage I want to say one thing. Oh, ladies, if you're married, wear that ring. And the Army has a new policy: if you can't move it, paint it. If it has a switchblade knife, salute it. Not necessarily an incident one would want to write his mother about. Germany being full of good soldiers and good people. Took that a hair faster than I should have. Made it harder than it needed to be. Okay, our last Tom T. Hall song for tonight. This was the title track to his next album in 1970. This somewhat environmentalist / religious theme song only reached number 14 on the charts that year, but it was covered by artists around the world after Tom released it, and was released in over 6 different languages around the world. This song is called 100 Children. Children, brave boys and girls, they come from nations all over the world. 100 children marching along, 100 children singing their song. Don't blow up the world, don't kill all the flowers. Today this is your world, tomorrow it's ours. Leave us pure water and forest uncut. Think of tomorrow, leave something for us. Your God may be dead, but ours is alive. We think without him we cannot survive. Punish all the bad men and praise all the good. Talk to your neighbors about brotherhood. 100 children, brave boys and girls, they come from nations all over the world. 100 children marching along, 100 children singing their song. This is the song I was singing one night, while I was thinking of wrong and of right. I thought of good things that still could be done. The marchers now number 101. 100 children, brave boys and girls, they come from nations all over the world. 100 children marching along, 100 children singing their song. 100 children, brave boys and girls, they come from nations all over the world. 100 children marching along, 100 children singing their song. 100 children singing their song. Okay, now our gospel song for tonight is more of a contemporary song, contemporary Christian song, written by a guy by the name of Mark Schultz. And I heard this song performed in church by a couple of our very talented singers at our church, and just kind of felt I needed to add this to my collection. This song is called "Remember Me." Remember me in a Bible cracked and faded by the years. Remember me in a sanctuary filled with silent prayer. And age to age and heart to heart, bound by grace and peace, child of wonder, child of God, I've remembered you. Remember me. Remember me when the color of the sunset fills the sky. Remember me when you pray and tears of joy fall from your eyes, and age to age and heart to heart, bound by grace and peace, child of wonder, child of God, I remembered you. Remember me. Remember me when the children leave their Sunday schools with smiles. Remember me when they're old enough to teach, old enough to preach, and old enough to lead. Remember age to age and heart to heart, bound by grace and peace, child of wonder, child of God, I've remembered you. Remember me. Remember me, remember me, age to age and heart to heart, child of wonder, child of God. Remember me, age to age and heart to heart, child of wonder, child of God. Well, it's a pretty tune if it's not messed up a couple places in there, but still like it. So that brings us to our benediction for the week. May the good Lord bless and keep you, whether near or far away. May you find that long-awaited golden day today. May your troubles all be small ones, and your fortune 10 times 10. May the good Lord bless and keep you till we meet again. May you walk with sunlight shining and a bluebird in every tree. May there be a silver lining back of every cloud you see. Fill your dreams with sweet tomorrows, never mind what might have been. May the good Lord bless and keep you till we meet again. May you walk with sunlight shining and a bluebird in every tree. May there be a silver lining back of every cloud you see. Fill your dreams with sweet tomorrows, never mind what might have been. May the good Lord bless and keep you till we meet again. May the good Lord bless and keep you till we meet again. All right, and so ends another show. I might take one song out. This is again late. The Tom T. Hall story songs are long, so I probably will take a song or two out of the set list for next week. Have a great week. Have a safe week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you also for those who are watching later, either on YouTube or on Facebook. And please, as always, feel free to share this video or series with anyone you think might enjoy this music. Have a great evening. Good night, everybody. Thanks a lot.